Good evening from another beautiful day here in Merida, Mexico. Now, that's just really me being optimistic. I got a lot to tell you guys, but first, what are we about to do?
Buying a marquesita.
Yeah, we got to go get our hands on one more of those because Gladys just got done purchasing one right now. It's our last night here in Merida. She wanted one last marquesita, and what happened?
Oh my god, it was so bad. The guy took like 30 minutes to prepare one marquesita and then she messed that marquesita up and he prepared another one, but it was so bad, I swear.
It was horrible, and a marquesita literally takes about 3 minutes to prepare. So we're gonna cross the street now, right in front of this horse carriage, and go and see if this man here can redeem the marquesita adventure that we had planned for tonight. Man, I feel so bad for these horses, but that's another story. We'll talk about that here in a little bit.
Hola. Hola, hola. Dime que tú haces buenas marquesitas, por favor. Me acabo de comprar una que estaba malísima.
La primera, que era mal.
Porque todas las marquesitas estaban buenísimas. Mira, yo quiero, tiene...
Espera menos.
Me parece el tiempo justo de las marquesitas, ¿verdad? Eso es así de fácil.
So funny. So marquesitas are a very traditional pastry here in the Yucatan Peninsula. Now, they actually have a pretty crazy story and history behind them, but I'll let Gladys explain that to you here in a bit. Now, what I really love about these carts is that they're always so unique. Look at this one. How cool is this? The moto's attached to the back. So many different toppings to choose from. What are you going with today?
Nutella and banana.
Nutella and banana, your favorite, your go-to. Actually, that's not your favorite. Your favorite is the Philadelphia Nutella and mango.
Yes.
Which we haven't been able to find here in Merida. She was... Yeah, exactly. The famous Don Jose. Now, marquesitas are found pretty much everywhere here in the city, especially in the late evenings. Look at all the horses walking by. So as I was mentioning, they're found all around the city, especially in the late evenings. The locals love them, but they typically eat the marquesitas just with cheese. Us tourists love them with all the toppings. I keep finding myself walking away from the marquesita cart.
Why are you leaving? And you what? Mira, look.
Professional, one flip. One flip. The last place we just went to, how many times did the dude flip it? How many of them did he mess up?
Like 10.
It was horrible. It was a nightmare marquesita adventure, but look at the redemption. Wow.
Mmm, yummy, yummy.
I didn't realize how hard it was to make a marquesita until I just watched a young man struggle. This man has definitely been doing this for a while, and he is good at it. Look at that. Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
That is a good marquesita.
Déjalo así, muy amable. Gracias.
Are you happy about this one?
Yes, I'm so happy.
Should we start the walk now?
We can leave. Yeah.
All right, let me pick up the water bottle that I just got done setting on this floor.
Gracias.
Which Gladys always gets mad about. She's always like, why do you put everything on the floor?
You can't put things on the floor, especially your backpack. It's so cute.
Yeah, true. I always leave my backpack on the floor, and she gets pretty mad at me because of that, but she's just looking out for me. Anyways, guys. Oh, man, just based off that crunch, so much better than the last one. Why did we throw away the last one? We could have showed the vlog.
No, I'm sorry. No sé, me dio rabia.
She just wanted to get rid of that thing as fast as possible. But basically, I wanted to clock on in here today to tell you guys what we've been experiencing so far since we've been here in the city, because Merida is known for being one of the safest
city in the not only Latin America but the world.
Guys. And to be honest, we haven't had that same expectations, or we haven't experienced that. We've actually experienced the complete opposite. Since we've been here, everything has seemed to go wrong. On a daily basis, when we come out to walk, we get followed constantly by...
First of all, by sellers.
Yeah.
Como de los vendedores callejeros.
Yeah. Secondly, as we're walking down the streets, man, in these small little alleyways, cops like to seem to pull up on us very, very fast, stare, and then drive off very, very fast. So we've been pretty sketched out about that. And also, guys, man, we had no idea what took place here in this city. So I wanted to come here and let you guys know that Merida is actually home to a huge human trafficking ring. Hold on, we'll catch up as soon as this bus leaves. That was the word I was looking for, human trafficking ring. Now, it turns out that all of the people that are walking around here, the women, the kids, with all of the clothing on their backs, actually, we asked one lady yesterday and she said she carries on average 5 to 10 kilos a day. It turns out that a lot of those women are actually trafficked from Chiapas to here, and they're forced to work and sell these clothing and sell other items on the streets for almost 20 hours a day. Now, we had no idea about this, but yesterday we were in the Grand Plaza, the main square of Merida, and we were actually filming a video where Gladys said yes to every street vendor that walked by, which you can imagine, it was a lot. Now, these are the ones I'm talking about. ¿A cuánto están? 100 pesos? Okay, muchas gracias. So those are the exact people I was talking to you about. So to make a long story short,
So yesterday I was saying yes to them, all of them. Yeah.
We were purchasing all their items, and before we knew it, we were being followed by several guys. They all had like so many different face tattoos, and I told Gladys, yo, we got to get out of here because these people don't like us. I don't know why they don't like us, but something that we're doing is bothering them. Well, it turns out that the reason why they were bothered is because they were actually there watching these women and making sure that these women were working and don't leave the plaza.
And I was filming them.
So you can understand where the problem was. We were filming people that were brought here due to human trafficking. So people that are here working, excuse me. So people that are here working, not on their own will. Now, we actually didn't think nothing of it at the time. In fact, we had no idea what was going on. It wasn't until we got home later that night and Gladys received a message from someone on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
And they told her, yo, all of those women that are out there are being human trafficked, and they've all been exploited from different regions or different towns in Chiapas. So essentially people come by, they take these women, these kids from their small little towns.
From Chiapas especially.
Yeah, from Chiapas especially. They kidnap them and bring them down here and force them to work, force them into a life of hard labor and hard work on these streets. Now, this kind of got a little bit sad for us because we started thinking about everything that we did that day, all of those women that we purchased stuff from, and how we filmed them, and how it was just completely wrong. But we were just being tourists and we really didn't know what was happening. And then we started thinking like, man, no wonder these women looked miserable. No wonder they looked super sad and bothered, and man, a lot of them looked like they wanted to talk and say other things, but they couldn't. They couldn't do nothing. They were down there selling us things, looking around, really hesitant. In fact, in your video, you filmed a little 6-year-old girl and you asked her like, why aren't you in school? Or what are you doing out here selling all these things? And she really didn't know what to say.
Yeah,
but
because they can't talk.
Yeah, they can't talk. What did you read online actually last night?
That they're from Chiapas, mainly from Chiapas, so they call these people Chiapanecas. So here there is a really huge traffic with the Chiapanecas. They bring the Chiapanecas from Chiapas to here, which is 9 hours, to force them to work all day for 10 or more hours, and they live ¿cómo se dice? Hacinados? Hacinated, I don't know.
I have no idea what that word means.
They live como too many people in one little room.
Oh yeah, so basically that's what we were reading last night. So basically they force all of these women here to sell at the famous touristic spots such as the Grand Plaza, and their day doesn't end until someone comes around, picks them all up into a car, and they take them and essentially just squeeze them all into a little room, and that's where they sleep, that's where they live. Now, we were reading online, and this is actually a huge deal, like something that's been happening here for quite a long time, and the government has no control over it. Because why?
they have no control because this is, well, es manejado por gente como los carteles.
Yeah.
And sometimes the police, well, sometimes no, that's what I read on Google by the news, that the police, they know everything and they do nothing about it.
Exactly. A lot of the
But
police.
This town is super weird. Mira.
Yeah. Look at the view we're at right now.
Oh my God,
Actually,
no.
I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit like this. I want you guys to see
No, pero
exactly what we're experiencing.
behind us, I mean, there's a parked car
With one guy
with
just
a
sitting
guy
in there.
inside doing nothing, and then there's another guy in front of
Of him just
doing
looking at the
nothing.
street, not doing
I don't
nothing.
know, what is that?
Now it turns out that there's actually a lot of kidnappings here as well, and just a lot of crime that you don't hear about too often, because a lot of, well, we're actually talking about it, we feel like a lot of the people that come here and don't feel any of those things are just naive, you know? They're not really paying attention closely. We were at the square earlier today, and what do you see? You see all kinds of tourists coming up, taking pictures with all of the ladies that we were just talking to you about, because they're dressed in traditional, like, traditional clothing.
Yeah.
And they have no idea that those women are being forced to work.
Yeah,
You know?
and I think the tourists here, they just see all the good things. And yes, there's amazing things here in Merida, but también tienes que ver lo que no es tan bueno, you know?
Exactly.
And I always say that you have to ask yourself qué hay detrás, what is behind everything you see,
Exactly.
especially at the street. So qué hay detrás de esas mujeres. O sea, es una gran red de explotación. Y además de eso, besides, when you walk through the city, you see beautiful houses, but también tú ves esto.
Yeah, but with all the beautiful homes comes all of these very sketchy streets. Now, I must say, everything around the one, or everything about a street or two away from the main square is somewhat decent. But once you veer off from that area, man, everything starts falling apart here in the city. Now, as I mentioned, a lot of people say this is one of the most beautiful, one of the most safest, but I must disagree. And that is simply because not only is that all going on, but our second night here, now it could just be our bad luck, but our second night here, we get back to our Airbnb, 10 police cars all around our Airbnb. Turns out that some guests in the room next to us, some guys came over to the house, tried to break into their room, hopped over their balcony, and man, I don't even know if I should be talking this loud right now. Hopped over their balcony.
I don't know, it's so quiet here.
So quiet.
Like all the streets in Merida.
Yeah, look at this, look at this, guys. No one to be seen. We've been living a scary movie.
Perfect example. This is a beautiful house, and on the side, it's a house falling apart.
And this is what we notice when you see pictures of Merida. You oftentimes see a picture of the house that looks kind of like this, but you don't see what lies around it. And so basically, we come back home. All of the police cars are there. I got a little sidetracked. These girls tell us that they come out crying. All the police are out front. We're asking what happened. And they tell us that 2 guys got dropped off by a truck in the middle of the road. These 2 guys ran, hopped over the balcony, tried to force their way into their house, and they essentially hid in the bathroom for like 15 minutes until the police came. And then when the police showed up, we also showed up at the same time. Now, what happened, no one really knows exactly, because they weren't able to find the guys that tried to break into the house, but the police and the owner of the Airbnb advised us to get out of there, because they said we wouldn't sleep here and we live here. So that's exactly what we did. And I must say, we were only about, what would you say, like another 5-6 blocks away from here. Not too far, to be honest. And so that's what we did. We moved, we stayed in a hotel for a few nights, and now we're back in the center because we wanted to give it another shot. And as I mentioned yesterday, we got followed from the plaza because we were filming we got followed by a bunch of scary looking people, and man, I don't feel safe in the city at all. We actually tried to change our flights to leave here today and we couldn't, so we're here till tomorrow, leaving to Mexico City. But I wanted to make this video to show you guys our reality of being here in Merida. I mean, look at this, guys.
Yeah, maybe it's a safe city, but not for us.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't feel safe.
We don't feel safe. We've had bad vibes here.
Experience.
So, you know, who am I to judge? I'm not here to judge anybody, but I wanted to make this video to share our experience and also to inform you guys about those ladies that you're gonna see everywhere when here in Merida, because it's just wrong. It's wrong to support that. If I were you guys, I wouldn't purchase anything from them, because that money they don't get to keep. In fact, they don't see any of it. Those women get paid, what were we reading, anywhere from 10 to 50 pesos for their 18 hours of being out there.
Yeah.
And on top of that, when they get picked up, they go back, they have them herded up like sheep inside of a room. A lot of those women are raped. A lot of those 6-year-old, 7-year-old girls you see walking around the streets selling stuff are being raped when they go back to their, not homes, to these houses where they store them. And it's wrong. It's extremely wrong, and it's sad that it's happening in a place where everybody claims is so safe. And you know, I'm gonna leave it at this. I got a message from a few followers when I first arrived here. Actually, we're gonna stay right here because it's the last house with the light before we get home. And I got a message from a follower, and she had told me that Merida was like a safe haven for Mexicans a few years back, but in recent years it has been getting worse and worse. And she actually compared it to the modern day Sinaloa, just overran by cartels, narcos, and this is why we feel sketchy. I mean, look at this, a car with one headlight just cruising around with a bunch of guys. Now, the reason why I wanted to make this video right now is because, yeah, like I said, I wanted to expose those things to you guys, and I want you guys to come out here, or don't come out here at all, because I wouldn't recommend anybody come out here. But if you do, come on out here, be safe, always be aware, and don't be blind to all of these things that are happening around you, because there is some corrupt shit going on. Anyways, that's gonna be it for today. I'll see you guys in Mexico City later.